from the grave, whisper secrets dark and brave, eyes that pierce into the night. Monsters come, we must fight. Candles flicker, casting dread. Ghostly wails fill my head, chasing demons lost in time. Sanity a steep climb. Off with his head, she screamed. Blood moon's eerie gleam. Battle cries through the dark, leaving fear's deep mark. Echoes of sins long past, fighting shadows deep and vast. Blood-stained blade in hand, stand your ground, make a stand. Cursed whispers fill the air, spirits cry, beware, beware. Through the fog and through the flame, monsters here know my name. Off with his head, she screamed. Blood moon's eerie gleam. Battle cries through the dark, leaving fear's deep mark. Off with his head, she screamed. Blood moon's eerie gleam. Battle cries through the dark, leaving fear's deep mark. Echoes of sins long past, fighting shadows deep and vast. Blood-stained blade in hand, stand your ground, make a stand. Cursed whispers fill the air, spirits cry, beware, beware. Through the fog and through the flame, monsters here know my name. Silence screams, hearts break, nightmares come wide awake. Warriors of woe take flight, darkened souls embrace the fight. Shadows crawl from the grave, whisper secrets dark and brave, eyes that pierce into the night. Monsters come, we must fight. Candles flicker, casting dread. Spirits cry, beware, beware.
In the still night, whispers float. In the quiet, heartbeat slow. No clash, no roar, just silence. In the shadows, battles won. I see through foggy veils, no swords to raise, no cries to wail. Victory's touching ghostly hue. Darkness glows a pale blue. Silent shadows trace the ground. In this silence we are bound. Greatest. In the still night, whispers float. In the quiet, heartbeat slow. No clash, no. In the still night, whispers float. In the quiet, heartbeat slow. No clash, no roar, just silence. In the shadows, battles won. I see through foggy veils, no swords to raise, no cries to wail. Victory. In the still night, whispers float. In the quiet. In the still night. to cease. Creeping through the twisted wood, echo shards where warriors stood. Just a
All right. All right, everybody. I apologize for that. I was working just fine a few minutes ago, and then it decided that it didn't like me anymore. So, I apologize for that brief moment of amazing professionalism, but let's be honest, you know what you're going to get with me by now. So, my name is Alan. I'm the owner of Mr. Bitey's Games and Hobbies. And this is going to be our first attempt at doing some map making and just general game design talk. So, for those of you who haven't caught one of our streams before, we are designing our own tabletop RPG. For those not familiar, think Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, only ours is modern fantasy. So rather than chasing the dragon through a dungeon lair with sword and shield, you're chasing a dragon through an office building with shotgun and flamethrower. A little bit more fun. But what we're going to be doing today is designing the maps. This is going to be for the Riverview Riverview Mall. God, this is going to be me learning English today. Again, I apologize, but we are going to be designing the Riverview Mall, going through, putting out its general outline, and then discussing how, as we do this, map making and game design differs for a modern fantasy game like ours compared to a more traditional tabletop RPG. Hey, time. Right. Basically, yeah. Hey, Matt. Hey, Time. How you both doing? But that actually raises an interesting point. Not everyone. There is absolutely a segment of game design that, or tabletop RPG map design, fantasy maps, where they worry about things like ecology, right? Why are these monsters in the dungeon? Why is this tribe of goblins within 50 feet of this tribe of mites? Like, how do they interact? But there's certainly those that care about that, but especially the older map designs, the older, like, super dungeons. They didn't give a shit. Not even a little bit. Why is this monster here? Because it would be a fun encounter. Fuck you, that's why. Unfortunately, with modern fantasy, we don't really get that. Again, encounters in a game like this are more like Cyberpunk or Shadowrun, right? You're not in some dungeon lair where it was designed by whoever. You're in a mall, you're in an office building. It has a real world application, and you have to take that into account. If you don't, the whole thing just looks weird. Excuse me. So, what we are going to be doing tonight is going over it. Now, I've already started. This is the map that our Sunday Shattered World game is using. This is the Riverview Mall. Now, in the Shattered World, the whole premise is, again, it's modern fantasy. So you have modern contrivances, skyscrapers, cell phones, etc. But you also have fantastic elements. Magic is real. Magic not only exists, but it's always been known to exist in this world. The greatest architects know some magic. There, you can't buy a toaster that doesn't have a little bit of arcane power behind it. So, this mall, the basic premise of it is that it was built over a river through a combination of magic and technology. And this central garden is the food court, basically. These restaurants, and then this central garden, the floor is actually enchanted so that as you're walking over, when you sit at a table and eat, you can have it turn transparent and watch the river under you. Hey, Fee, how you doing? Good to see all of you on the stream. So, what we are going to be doing, this is going to be the overview. And then as we do individual maps, I'm going to open up a new tab. Let me make sure y'all can see that. Yes, you can. We'll copy and paste the room over here. And then here we can start adding doors, windows, furniture, etc. based on what type of store it is. All right, cat. All right, my co-artist is here. This is my cat, Oreo. He contributes to the artwork by batting my hands out of the way as I'm trying to draw. Likes to add a certain level of challenge. Mostly because he is a bastard. So, to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Now, I see a couple people in this stream. He just likes to be included. No, he likes all of the attention. He doesn't want to be included. He wants to be the major thing. So, I see a couple of my players are in the stream. While I will be doing the map design, we're not doing the encounter design. That's a surprise. Mwahaha. But speaking of encounter design, that does raise another thing you have to keep in mind. In a dungeon, you're typically in like a cave or mines, right? There's separation between rooms. There's thick cavernous walls blocking sound. You can get into a life or death struggle in one room, and 2 rooms down, no one's the wiser. Here, No one's being doxxed. I'm just saying. If you are a part of the Shattered World live stream, you're not going to get hidden information. So, here, again, it's a mall. S7 is right next to S10. If you walk into S10 with a shotgun and start letting off rounds, the people in S7 are probably going to hear that. That's where you, as the narrator, which is the Shattered Worlds version of the dungeon master, the storyteller, etc., right there, that role, you need to either come up with a reason, spread your encounters out a little bit. We've all been in malls lately. Not every store is filled. Or come up with other reasons to explain why. Or, oh, you're going to get it all. You're going to take it all. But I want it all. I want it now. All right, that is I'd say that's the last bit of singing you're going to get from me, but right, they're all Spirit Halloweens. They're just open for 3 weeks a year, but they are in fact filled. They're either Spirit Halloween or that damn Christmas sausage place. So, let's go ahead and skip for a second. What? S9 is closed. S10, the Astral Interface VR demo store. So, let's give ourselves a blank space to play with. We said this was S10. We're going to zoom in. Copy. And paste. And move. Alright, so when we copy and pasted this over, that wall is way too fucking long. So we're gonna shorten it. And we don't need the colored room. The colored room is something I do for the layout version of the map, just to make it a little easier for people to look at and read. Yes, I am known for my singing. Please note, for the love of God, that does not mean my singing is good. You can be known for something and be absolutely horrible at it. So, one of the important things, at least for me, I am using the free version of Sweet Home 3D, which means I do not have a lot of the things, the assets that the full version has, which is fine. That means we're basically going to have to use our imaginations a little bit. There's also something I want to point out, because this is a mistake that I certainly did not make the first time I made this map. Oops. Anyway, if you've played D&D, Pathfinder, or any one of the tactical mini games, or tactical, TTRPGs, how big is a square? I say as it keeps zooming in, but a box is 5 feet. So that means this is 5, 10, 15, 20. No. This is 1 foot. Do not sketch out your building thinking, okay, I'm going to make this 50 feet by 50 feet. That's plenty of room for a huge little arena for players to fight in. And then I ported it over to Foundry, and oops, that was mildly entertaining. But when we go to copy this over, we're going to go to File, Preferences, and then here you see Rulers. Turn off, turn grid off, and now we've got that. But we decided this was a VR electronics store. And as per our map, this was S10. This is an exterior store on this back wall, so it will probably have some windows. So let's do that. Let's go ahead. Yes, I know this says it's a garage door, but we're going to say this has two of those big windows, like the floor-to-ceiling windows that some stores have, and we'll use that to represent it. And then let's go ahead and give it an exterior door. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Something, something, happy accidents. But now we've got the exterior pretty well done. We want to give this a little back office. So, 234 to 240, what's that? 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, just shy of 250. So 240 to 250. Yeah, I'd give it about 10 feet. And that's what? 6, yeah. 8 feet. Fuck it, close enough. Tell you what, first, we are going to remove one of those windows because that is exactly where I want to put that wall. We will give it a door because you got to get in there somehow. No, I don't like that. Fixed window. Yeah, just a smaller window in there. All right. I am the humblest of humbles. No one is more humble than me. So, let's go to our living room, because this is where you have a lot of tables and shit. We're going to give just a basic table in here. And just a basic chair. And we're going to represent a computer by just throwing a flat screen TV on there. So, we now have a little office set up. And what does our VR store need? Let's go ahead, because I like creepy shit. Let's go ahead and put a couple mannequins in there. And we will say they are wearing like the haptic bodysuits on display or VR headsets, things like that. Let's go ahead. Let's not do a round table. Round tables to me are more, let's sit and drink our coffee. But we will give a table or 3. Couple shelves. Do a couple bookshelves in the middle to represent shelving units. Yes, let me see if they have. A couple TV units where you can demo shit. Electric radar. We don't need anything in staircases. Lights. So, now that's really hard to see. Let's see if there's a better version. Oh, that's not going to be big at all. So what I'm looking for that will work. Yes. Can I change its color? Let's see. Modify. Yes. So now we have a small toilet. No, what this is the employee's toilet. Yes, right out there in the open. We're not giving you a long enough to break to go use an actual toilet. No, what these are security cameras, is what we're going to use them as. We're making sure they're relatively small, they're distinct, they catch the eye, and they don't look like anything else in the room. And it's hard, well, the 3D map won't matter because this isn't something we're going to be importing to Foundry. But if this is something you end up using for your own stuff, you can see it's right up there most of the way up the wall. See, using the bathroom, since that's you not doing your job, that costs the company money, so it's only fair that we as the company charge you money to go use the bathroom. It's only fair, right? Like, if you're costing me money, I'm going to charge you money. Therefore, using the bathroom costs $25.72. All right. So, as I said, we're not going to be doing the encounter portion, but this gives us a fairly busy store. There's plenty of stuff that people can duck in and use for cover. There's plenty of things they can interact with environmentally. For example, if you run up against something that's immune to your dagger because you're or your sword because you're all about doing slashing damage, you can hack off the arms of one of the mannequins, and now you have a jury-rigged weapon that does bludgeoning damage. There's lots of wiring and stuff on these shelves. That kind of stuff burns fairly well. Etc., etc. Remember, you're not just making four walls, you're making something that players can interact with and use. And it still has to fulfill its actual purpose of being a mall store. Water usage costs money then. Or two, you're right. And that's fine. You can absolutely pee on the floor. That is destruction of company property. We're going to fine you for that. And you're going to have to clean it up. There is no escaping. You want to get dystopian? Let's get dystopian. Remember, corporate overlords, if you can hear me, I love you. This is a joke. You are benevolent. Benign, even. Wait. Now that's what I meant. Alright, so what the hell store was this again? The Astral Interface. Alright, so that's saved. I will copy that over later. So now we are going to do S11, which was Gilded Glamour Clothing. Awesome. Wear and tear is a real thing. I know, not inspired at all. Not even a little bit. Legally distinct. No, true story, when I was coming up with the names of the stores, I absolutely suck at making names. When I make characters, that's always the last fucking thing I do. But alright, this was S11. I ended up just going to like a fucking chat GPT and like, alright, make me 30 store names in a mall. Divide them among the following categories. And then I picked and choosed. But the astral interface was one that it made, and I never even made the connection until I'd slotted it in, and then I'm like, wait a fucking minute. Alright. Cool. even though it snapped. Cool. Let's clean up the corners real quick. Because, you know, I'm a professional and shit. Alright, so again, this is a bigger one, but this is going to be a clothing store. Hey, you know what? The more it does, the less I have to do, and I'm lazy as shit. I, for one, welcome our robot overlords. Because, frankly speaking, I know I'm the type that won't last fuck. I'm gonna stop talking. That's right. I'm gonna be one of the first to go, so I'm okay with that. I won't have to deal with the repercussions. That's all on you people. Alright, no, no, no. Walls. 642 to 654, that's 14 feet. Yeah, let's give them a decent enough little storage area. And then here in the upper left, we're going to create walls again. What is this? 588 to 582, so that's about 6 feet. Yeah, it sounds about right. We're going to make each one of those is 6 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. All right, they all merged well. Hey, Super, how you doing? I don't want to put the cookie down. I like the cookie. Jingle All the Way is a horrible movie. It's an amazing movie. Great movie. Horrible fucking movie. I love that movie. Now, let's do doors. Do they have... No, they don't, so that's fine. They really should have. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Is impersonating a cop really against the law? I mean, yeah. Also, if any of you haven't paid attention to Super Destructo's channel, check it out. They are a good friend, they are amazing, and their channel is, frankly, if you like me, they're even better. So check them out. You'll love it. Absolutely. So, I'm not sure what you caught. Oh, I caught the plague. That's what I caught. How about all of y'all? Um, anyway, God, lost my train of thought from that. We are making our map. Right now, we are working on Gilded Glamour clothing. Mega rabies. Not just rabies, fucking mega rabies. Alright, so, once again, this is going to be our back room, stock room. So let's fill this shit with bookcases. And now, again, I am using the free version of Sweet Home 3D, so I don't have full access to all of the assets. Oh, fuck that. Oh, God, it reminds me of way back in the day, World of Warcraft. Extremely long story short, um, there was a raid boss that would put a disease on people and it would spread and explode and it was horrible, but it was contained to the raid. Unless you were a pet class and it got on your pet, you would dismiss the pet. The problem is when you dismiss the pet, it kept the thing on it. So if you were a dick, you would then teleport after the raid into one of the cities and resummon your pet. Where it would infect all the NPCs and just explode, and it was horrible. Um, Good times, horrible times. So, one of the reasons why I mentioned that I don't have access to full assets is because we're doing a lot of fuck it, they'll never see what it actually is on this. So rather than, hey, Jonas, another survivor of the Ironforge fun, I see. Oh, again, good time, bad times, the worst of times, but absolutely fun times. It's a box. Get back in the store. Yep. It got to the point where I remember reading an article where actual, like, real world public health specialists were studying what was going on in World of Warcraft and using it to kind of predict how people would act in the real world in the case of an epidemic. Um, Crazy shit. So let's do a minor change. We're going to add a door right here so that here we now have a little office off the storage room. Also, welcome Jonas. I can't remember if I said that yet. Good to see you back in the stream. And anyone else I've missed, it's been that kind of night. So let's go ahead. I know I saw it. There we go. We did a table in the other one. So let's just throw a desk there. Throw a chair there. And congratulations, you now have a small office. And what was miscellaneous? There we go. Let's throw a box over here. Zoom in a bit. Let's change its size. And now, where was it? Modify furniture. Let's change its color to make it a little more distinct. And now we have a small safe. Here we have changing rooms. So to make them a little more changing room E. Every one of them's going to get a stool. Can't have a changing room without a stool. That's just science. And again, while we know it's a table, what we actually have is one of those benches. And there's the changing rooms done. All Alright, so now we just gotta fill shit into the room and we are done. So again, this is the Gilded Glamour. We're envisioning this as kind of a higher end boutique store, boutique clothing store. So we're gonna have lots of, no bookcases really, no shelving units. Maybe some on the walls. But a lot of tables. Glamour. I'm gonna fuck with everybody and just throw a Z at the end to show it's futuristic. Alright. Throw a couple smaller tables, and then we can also go back to, where was it? There we go. Yep. We can throw a couple of those half mannequins on some of the tables. And then if we're being really mean, we can work those into the encounter later that will take place here. Right, them too. I just remember cartoons like Batman Beyond. We're the Jokers with a fucking Z because we're in the future. Yeah. God, that show was horrible and awesome at the same time. Alright, so we're going to say again, this is one of those really fancy stores, so we're going to put a little piano there that doesn't actually play. It just has a little sound system inside it, but it looks fancy. Alright. Stretch this out a bit. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. The main thing is, once again, we're trying to give enough to give our players options. We want this to look like a store. This should, because again, this is modern fantasy. This is not, we're not fighting in a dragon's lair. This is a mall. This should look like I can walk in and buy some shit. Which, on that note, let's give it a defined cashier area. No chair back there. We're not allowed to sit down because that means we're lazy. And a computer monitor. And you know what? Because we care about our employees, you may have a single plant. If it dies, it comes out of your paycheck. Boy, I never worked retail. That is a good point. We do need to give the manly men somewhere to sit with their spouses' purses. Let's do that. You know what? We are bougie as shit, so we are gonna give some nice armchairs. And we're just gonna say they're those super fancy massaging chairs that you see at malls and shit. Cool. Yes, it's fake, but they don't tell the employee that. They tell them it has to be watered weekly and see how long it takes for them to catch it on or catch on. Oh, oh, it's not tacky. You just don't understand the brilliance. Um, plebe. What is this, Chuck E. Cheese? You know, I wanted to give some line about how we don't accept Chuck E. Cheese slander in this household, but I realized I've only been to a Chuck E. Cheese like once in my life. And yeah, I'm an elder millennial. Like, that was my childhood, theoretically, but I'd be more pissed off if you yelled about Darien Lake than I am fucking. Or Six, I think it's called now. I think they bought them out. Than Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I never cared about it. This is a Pizza Hut household. Do not talk about Pizza Hut. There will be repercussions. So let's see how. Yeah, I don't really like that. All right, so that is our store. Save as. The Gilded Glamour. File, new. Close the shit out of you. Open the shit out of you. You are done. All right, next up is S12 Soulbound Tech. Late 19. Listen, we are not doing that late 1900s bullshit here. I do not get paid enough for that. I do not get paid. Yeah, no. No, 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 no. That is where I'm absolutely drawing the line. Dance. Just dance. All right, so S12 Soulbound Tech. Do 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 do. Oh, you are another big ass one. So tell you what. S12, that's actually Luminous Hearth, which is a furniture store. I clearly misread the first time. obviously. And let's center that shit a little bit. Good enough, good enough. Good enough. Good enough for government work. All right, so we got the main door. All right, and then for this one, we're going to go ahead and make this whole side wall a separate area. One moment. Say it again.
You've got an ad.
And it never warned me. I need my laptop back. It's not giving me the what's it called?
Warnings?
The warnings on my phone. It did it on the computer, but not on the app.
That's annoying.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Now, which one's this?
Her pajamas. I want to put
Awesome.
them right underneath the tree.
Okay.
Right in front of the wheel stand. And I put purple paper so that it was obviously hers.
Nice. Thank you, baby.
Welcome. Does it yours mute when you do that?
Yes.
Cool. You should probably do that when you blow your nose and cough and stuff, because that's all I can hear.
Yeah, I try, but half the time the cough comes on like suddenly.
Yeah. The coughs I get, there was just a lot of like snot in my ears.
Sorry.
You're fine. Just letting you know while Miebo.
Yes. Is it? Are you still listening? Is it still ad?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Do you want to look at mine?
All right, I'm back. All right, we are back from the ad break. I apologize for that. It turns out the warning that I have set up will let me know on my computer, but not on the app. So, oops. So what I just did was a large door frame. Again, you can see it down in here, but this isn't something that we're going to be able to really do, like really show on Foundry. Once in a future stream, if I do this again, I'm still working on how to get this lower view fully pulled out as a picture. Because I know that's something you can do. It actually has not just a 3D view, but like a walk around in. And I might set something up if I can figure it out for the landing page on Foundry so that you can actually have like a walkthrough of what your players would see as they're exploring this mall. But this is going to be, if you've ever been in a furniture store, one of those sectioned off areas where they have just different types of stuff. So here is probably going to be the bedroom bedding area. Up here, let's do a handful of washers and dryers. I like that this has a clothes washer but not a clothes dryer, so we are going to use our imaginations. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not bothering me, it's not bothering me, it's not bothering me, it's bothering me. All right, so we got some washers and dryers for sale over there. Let's go ahead and put in our door here before I forget. Couple dishwashers. Handful of fridges and freezers. Legally distinct, visually distinct. Again, we can do the color trick if you want to do that to make it a little easier. I love how this is labeled an oven, but it is very clearly a microwave. Is that a non-American thing? I don't know. The oven and stove is just called a cooker. That makes sense. Like, I don't hate that name. But I also don't love it either. You know what? I do not like that. All right. Sorry for the delay. Where did my map go? There we go. Cool. Sorry, I know I'm not the most talkative at this point. This is the first time I've tried doing something like this online, like for an audience. I'm still trying to hit my groove on this part. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Um, I think next time I am going to make sure there's some soft lo-fi, legally distinct music playing or something to be a little less boring for y'all. When can you kill it with fire? Let's see. What do you need in order to kill it with fire? You come with your own flamethrower. Ignore the fact that I'm putting a crib down while I'm asking about that. Okay. Least popular RPG design choice. Oh God. So I talk a lot of shit about this game, and it deserves it. It deserves every bit of shit talking. And I'm going to get to the design choice in a minute. I just have to talk about the game first. So, the least popular would probably be the game Big Eyes Small Mouth, or Bessem, BESM, not to be confused with BDSM. Um, Oddly similar, but minute differences. Bessem is basically an anime based tabletop RPG. It was a great idea, and it was bad. Do not, like, you will very rarely hear me say, do not play a game, because even the worst games you can have fun with if you know what you're getting into. And Bessem, I have a lot of fond memories playing that game. It is a bad game. It has no um balance at all. It scoffs at the idea. It's the problem with Bessem, and this is getting to the design choice question. The problem with Bessem is that it tried in its core rulebook to enable every anime style at once. So, for example, I ran a campaign. My starting 5 players One of them was a Pokemon trainer. One of them was Rurouni Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin Samurai X, reverse blade sword and all. He was the one that we called Speedster Jesus because he took super speed and could basically run at Mach fuck you. And he took water walking. Yeah. Fun character. Good character. We had a werewolf teacher. We had a Gundam pilot. And we had the Witchblade. None of those characters worked together. And they all pulled from vastly different styles and ideas. And this brings me to the least popular thing. I love the idea of this. They had, so in Bessem, you picked up basically merits. And a merit would be worth between 1 and 5 points, going off memory. And when you picked it, like at level 1 it did X, at level 2 it did Y, blah, blah, blah. And they had a huge smorgasbord of merits. You want to be immortal? There's a merit for that. You want to be super strength on top of your normal strength? There's a merit for that. You want to fucking walk on water? There's a merit for it, right? Lots of merits. On top of all of that, they had a merit called Unique Magical Talent, or Unique Talent. Sit down with your DM, discuss what this does, don't go overboard, have fun. I love the idea of this merit. I love the concept of this merit. I do not love this merit in action. That merit, it's one of my favorite because I love anything that gives the players more freedom, more choice, more expression. I love that shit. The point of a good tabletop RPG should be to allow you to play the character you want, how you want. That merit did not do that. That merit was the devil. That being said, if I know I'm going to be sitting down with a couple people that I trust, and we're all going to be on the same page, I would be absolutely okay with allowing that merit. But again, there's going to be some massive caveats to that. It's like, here's another mechanic that I both love and hate. D&D 3.x, whether it's 3.0 or 3.5, the problem was the same. Psionics. I loved psionics. I loved the PowerPoint system. For those that aren't familiar, short answer, it's mana. That's all it is. It's fucking mana. The problem is, psionics psionics was one of those splat books where if one person is playing a psionic, everyone needs to play a psionic class. It doesn't have to be the scion, but it has to be a psionic class. If you're not playing a psionic class, you are wrong. And again, that's one of those things I don't like saying, but it has to be said. Here's why. Psionics, again, normal wizards, normal spellcasters in D&D used Venetian casting. So I get spell slots. I have 3 level 1 spell slots. I have 2 level 2 spell slots. I slot my spells in, and then when I cast them, I'm fucking done for the day. And if I run out of spell slots of a certain level, I just can't cast spells at that level anymore. Sorry, I should have husbanded my resources a little bit better, right? Compare that to Psionics, which had power points. Again, it's mana. If a level 3 spell costs 3 power points and I have 9 power points, I can cast 3 level 3 spells, or I can cast 2 level 3 spells and a level 1 spell. I can, as long as I have the mana, I can cast whatever the fuck I want. And I like that. I like that versatility. The problem is, again, it gave you a lot of versatility compared to other casters. But the biggest problem was, at least in the 3.x version of Psionics, every psionic character had a way to draw power points from other living creatures. There was no save. It was considered an attack. A touch attack. In some cases, a ranged touch attack, which in 3.x basically meant it was gonna hit. Now, you may be thinking, okay, I am playing Sir Reginald, the level 20 paladin. I do not have psionic power points because I'm not a heathen bastard. What do I care? All non-psionic creatures had 2 power points. And if you ran out of power points, you went unconscious. So, every psionic character could drain at least 1 power point from you as an action. Typically more. You had 2. Good luck! Horrible design. Again, I love psionics. If a buddy of mine says, hey, we're playing an old school 3.x psionic campaign, do you want in? Absolutely, I'm down. I already got a character made. Let's do this. It's a psychic goblin called Mind. But I love that mechanic. It's bad. It's a horrible mechanic. Don't ever do it. It's a bad idea. I love psionics. My best friend is a psionic. That's right. I thought I deleted you. Anyway, you are re-deleted. Alright, so this was again... I understand what these are, but I don't like using that style of window there because it looks at first glance too close to a door. But very good question. Any other questions? Anyone else have any questions? I like answering questions, even if I can't talk right now. So, It's only 3 feet. Yeah, that'll work. And all right. Tell you what, we started at 8:30. Just an hour and a half. 1 minute all. All right. Tell you what, we are going to finish up this room. And then at that point, we will have been streaming for an hour and a half. It's a little shorter than what we normally do, but not to put too fine a point on it. Fuck. I'm starting to die. So let's go ahead for this main area. We've got the bedroom area. Let's go ahead and start throwing some living room shit in here, and then some. We've got the kitchen stuff over here. So, want to buy a nice table? Look at this nice little dining room set we have over here. It is so chic and awesome. And if you buy it, I will give you a pony. Not legally binding. But you can absolutely serve a dozen people here. And serenade them. And then over here, look at this really cool thing we have. Some more plants, because that makes you want to buy. We have the studies to prove it. You know what? If you can get anything off my body, you're more than welcome to it. Really, you're just gonna get depression and liver disease. But hey, maybe you'll get lucky. Oops. I know it won't really matter, but so we've got that. We're going to go ahead and put a TV unit. And where were the lights? Do they have lamps? There's a lamp on our piano. Do they have... That's a work lamp. There we go. Lamps. Makes everything better. Oh, I don't know what the hell you clipped. I'm afraid. Let's look. This little dining room set we have over here. It is so chic and awesome. If you buy it, I will give you a pony. Oh, you bastard. Oh, you bastard. Oh, you bastard. There is important context missing from that clip. Ah, I love you all. All right, let's do... one more. We're going to set this one up around a really cool fireplace. Because every super awesome magical house has a fireplace. I don't make the rules. That's just the way shit works out. let's go ahead and give them... Cool. El bastardo. Alright, that is off the wall. Cool. Alright. Let's throw... just a couple miscellaneous things over here to sell. And that is it. What was the name of this damn place again? The Luminous Hearth. For a place called the Hearth, there are not enough fireplaces. But that's okay. Because... let's put in... no, I will worry about that later. I will put some wall sconces on the wall or some shit. So... Luminous Hearth. Save. Alright. Good night, Fee. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming to this stream. If you enjoyed listening to my random rambling as I played around on a home design program, let me know. I have no problem doing one of these again. I just want to make sure it's something y'all are interested in. I don't want to waste your time or mine. So, everybody, you take care, be safe, and I will talk to you next time.